Clem is the player who's been impressing me the most over the last couple of weeks in StarCraft 2. Ever since the man won the ESL Winter tournament back in December, he's just been on another level. I'm not entirely sure what has changed. Maybe the only thing that he was really missing was just a little bit of confidence, but he's just been tearing apart the competition. Now, as you may have already guessed, he's going to be our Terran player here in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, and he goes by the name of Clement. And his opponent, in the opposite corner, the man who's considered to be the greatest StarCraft 2 player of all time, playing with the blue Zerg drones. We're looking at Serral's main hatchery. Now, this particular series is from the WTL, the World Team League, and the WTL uses a best-of-2 format. As you may have already guessed, a best-of-2 means that we get, well, a best-of-2 maps. It's a little bit different. Generally speaking, I cast best-of-3s or best-of-5s, or maybe I upload like a single map from a series. Generally speaking, best of 2, only played in the WTO, and the idea is that since there's a lot of games going on, it all comes down to map score. So you're playing as part of a team, every single team has a bunch of different players, and then everybody plays against other players. And long story short, the map score is the most important factor. The downside of casting a best of 2 right here on YouTube is that sometimes it's a little anticlimactic, because we end up with a 1-1 score. But fingers crossed that that is not going to be the case here today. Anyways, that being said, we are going to get 2 maps between the 2 very best players for their representing races, and I think that this is going to be absolute, I think this is going to be an absolute banger. So, here's the thing. Over the last couple of weeks, I have been more impressed by Clem than I have been by Serral. Serral is looking more mortal than he once used to, so in this particular matchup, he still obviously wins the vast majority of the games, but he's looked a little bit more shaky, just ever so slightly more shaky. Clem has looked rock solid. I don't even remember the last time I've seen, Clem lose a Terran versus Zerg, which is kind of a ridiculous statement, because for a while, Terrans really were struggling in this particular matchup. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have that new multiplayer balance patch. Yes, we do have Clem trying to deny his opponent's third. He gets the second denial. Reaper shows up. Nicely done right here by Clem. He wants to delay that third for as long as possible. This was a pull first as well. Okay, attempted body block there. Does not quite go perfect. SCV goes down. Alright, considering this is a spawning pull first here for Serral, it's actually kind of a rough start. Beautiful grenade. Gets a drone. Clem's control is just on another level. That's what I'm talking about. You see that confidence in that Reaper control? It's a small thing, he's always been very good at it, but he now has that in every aspect of his play. I think for a while you could sort of criticize Clem's defensive capabilities, but these days he's incredibly good at that too. He still certainly prefers being the aggressor, but the man is just on absolute fire right now. Anyways, I was talking about the most recent StarCraft 2 balance patch. I am just hypothesizing here, I'm not exactly sure, but Serral has been changing up his build orders quite a bit. So the most significant change in the most recent multiplayer balance patch wasn't actually to the Cyclone, it wasn't even to the Mothership, even though both of those units basically got complete reworks. I think the most significant change is the change to the Baneling. So in classic Blizzard fashion, and I don't know why they do this, it actually drives me nuts, they decided to go for a double nerf to a unit that was a little bit too strong. Gets the creep tumor and gets out. Does not go to the high ground, Zergling's waiting. Complete bait right there, once again, by Clem. Yeah, so maybe the Baneling was a little overtuned. I do agree that it was kind of dumb that with +2 melee, it could one-shot probes for all those years. That change should have been made, well, a long time ago, but they decided to nerf the amount of damage that a Baneling does against light units, while at the same time also reducing the amount of HP that the Baneling has. So with centrifugal hooks in the past, you used to get 5 additional hit points on your Baneling. These days you no longer get that. And considering it's a unit that we see usually quite literally hundreds of, Serral just can't get as much value out of them anymore, and he's been trying to mix it up. So he's been going for a lot of fast Roach Warrens. Speaking of which, there's that Roach Warren. And he's also been going for like a pre-7-minute Hive. So he is rushing out Vipers, and I think basically what he's doing is making sure that he does not have to rely on the Baneling quite as much. One unforeseen downside of that Baneling change is that Terran players now actually don't really need to switch out of bio at any point, so they stick around on Ghost with Liberators, but then they don't actually transition into Terran Mech or anything along those lines anymore, because they don't need to. The Baneling just isn't as good an option as it once used to be, so those Marines are very capable units from minute 1 all the way until minute 45. So Serral is reinventing his playstyle a little bit, whereas Clem can do more of the same thing that he is incredibly good at. And I think all of that combined really does make life a little bit better to the Frenchman. Okay, trying to get one of the queens. There should be enough energy for another transfusion. Yeah, there's enough energy here to keep those queens alive, but already nice little bit of damage done. There's that lair. So what Serral seems to do a lot lately is go for a very fast infestation pit and yeah, just rush out that hive. Just get those Vipers going as quickly as possible. The triple CC start right here for Clem now well underway. He's going into the 1-1 upgrades. He's going into the Stimpack research. We're gonna see the man transition towards his comfort zone. Technically speaking, Cyclone builds are a possibility, but realistically, I don't think it's something he really wants to do. Hellions, thinking about going for the run-by. Yeah, Queens are distracted on the left side of the map, but I don't think this was the move. Those Zorklings perfectly controlled right there by Serral, although, ooh. It looks like that actually, I'm gonna back up. That was not a cancel, it seems. So while I was looking at those Hellions, the Banshees, oh, look at the Queen sleeping on the job. Serral was so focused right there on just chasing down, yeah, those Hellions, that he ultimately, ends up losing the hedge. Okay, so that's a sloppy arrow right there. That's actually quite significant too, because not only is that the 300 minerals plus the cost of the drone down the drain, it also slows down the timing of the additional workers that will be coming up. So Serral is gonna drone right now. These were supposed to go onto the 4th base, but yeah, there's no 4th base. There's that infestation pit. 1-1 is gonna finish up together with Stimpack momentarily for Clem, who seems to be casually strolling ahead in this game. And that's what he's been doing. He's been very good at just slowly inching further and further ahead. And a lot of Terrans at some point will make a mistake. They will take a fungal growth to the face, or they will, like, I don't know, get a couple banelings into their mineral line or something like that. But it turns out if you don't make any of those mistakes, life is pretty nice. Looks like it's gonna be +1 melee here together with the +1 carapace. So there's that very quick hive I was talking about. There's that baneling nest. I haven't seen these games, but yeah, this is what Serral has been doing in a lot of his matches. And the problem here, right? For this particular opener for Serral is that his baneling speed is so incredibly late. So you rely on just a bunch of Zerglings and just a bunch of Roaches for that very first big Terran timing attack most of the time. So baneling speed, usually a very important upgrade. Even though it was made a little bit cheaper in that same patch as well, it does not seem to make up for the nerfs made to the baneling. Now obviously this only really affects the absolute highest level of StarCraft, right? The baneling changes. It's a core unit to the Zerg, and since we quite literally see hundreds of them in an average game, it just adds up so quickly. Like imagine they do like I don't know, a damage reduction and an HP nerf to the Marauder or something. That's kind of maybe a weird way to view the baneling as that core of a unit, but it really is. It is one of the few core units that Zergs make in basically every game, and life's pretty tough without him, it seems, at this level of StarCraft. I think at least that's one of the reasons why some of the top-level Zergs look a little bit more mortal than they once used to. Maybe it's a good change. Okay, Queen's a little overexposed. They tried hunting down those... Oh, nice transfusions, though. They tried hunting down those Banshees. Ultimately, Banshee lives for now. Emphasis on the word for now. But ultimately, yeah, we did see a few of those Queens going down, too. Okay, so the Hive gets scouted. Vipers are coming up. I actually expected Clem to be more aggressive here, but he's decided, no, I'm just gonna give my opponent whatever he likes to do. So, Ultralisk Cavern, Adrenal Glands, +2/+2. Serral is investing thousands of resources into things that are gonna help him out in a few minutes from now, but that aren't quite helpful yet. Is this the moment that we attack? So look at this. This is actually a very precise timing here from Clem. This is not lined up with any upgrades. He scanned the opponent's main base, and he knows what Serral is doing. He believes that right now is the best time to attack. It's a little bit of a risky attack now, I'm not gonna lie. Without the 2-2 research, those Marines just don't hit quite as hard. There's a lot of units coming across, though. Hatchery gets denied here. Okay, fair enough. We're gonna need to see some good blinding clouds going down on this army. Bailing speed is done. So most of the Terrans have been trying to catch Serral before bailing speed is finished. Looks like Clem is very deliberately attacking after bailing speed is done. So maybe he's trying to hit like a anti-Ultralisk timing, something like that. Burrow here being used. Okay, he's pushing forward with a couple of the Marines. Planetary Fortress will finish up momentarily, and Scan will reveal those links. Push over here as well. There's those blinding clouds that I was expecting. Good bit of damage done right here by Serral. Okay, siege tanks will go down. Still though. Yeah, now 2-2 is finishing up. It's weird because a lot of those units have died, but look at the amount of stuff right now moving on the mini-map. There's several lines of red units going across the map. Okay, abduction right there on that siege tank. Ultras are coming up right now. Chitinous plating not yet done. +2/+2 also not yet done here for the Zerg. So these attacks are actually very scary. 4 base right now for Terran. 4 base right now for Zerg. And Terran has got one hell of an opportunity here. Ultras, 5 of them are just about to pop, but they're not here yet. Clem is starting to make... Oh my god, Clem is actually making so much room right here. Now the Ultras are out. Blinding Cloud once again goes down. Vipers get sniped out of the sky. Beautiful control right there. And without chitinous plating and +2 armor, those Ultralisks died in just mere seconds. Clem hits a very sharp anti-timing attack in game number 1, and he obtains the victory with it. Honestly, that was such a brilliant game right there from Clem. So that's a strategy that Serral has been showing in a lot of games against Terran. Most Terrans have been trying to attack him before bailing speed is done, but Serral seems to hold against that quite easily. Clem, however, realized, wait a second, if I attack before the +2 armor and before the Ultralisk armor upgrade, those Ultras, they're gonna pop like little balloons, right? Like, they're gonna be very easy to kill. And if that attack he did in the previous game would have hit 5 seconds later, those Ultras probably would have torn apart that Terran army. Clem decided to hit at the perfect moment. And, well, apparently that means we're gonna take our game right here to equilibrium, where Terrans really struggle against Zerg, but apparently Clem is feeling pretty good about himself as he decides to go for what seems to be a double proxy barracks on the other side of the map. Is the Overlord headed in this direction? Nope. This one's just gonna chill. It's pretty common these days for Terran to, well, open up with double barracks, but usually they build them at home, right? Even if it's a triple Rex opener, Bjorn does this from time to time. He builds 2 barracks at the front and then 1 additional barracks over here inside of the main. Not the case here at all for Clem. He is going for a much more committed version of this push, albeit one where he's got a little bit of gas on the back of this too. So I don't think this is going to be for Reapers because he won't have enough gas. But Marines, yeah, together with probably bunkers going up in the natural expansion. SCV Scout coming across the map. At the very least, this is made to look like an SCV Scout, but really this is just a third worker here to help finish up some of that infrastructure on the other side of the map. Now, when do we commit? That's the question, right? Spawning pool is going to finish up here momentarily. You ideally want to hit right after Zerg has spent all of their larvae, although Serral will probably make 4 Zerglings here blindly. So 2 queens, 4 Zerglings, there it is. Bunkers are going to go up. Okay. Oh man, that Overlord is actually looking a little vulnerable. Drones trying their very best. SCV needs to try and not be on the exposed side of that wall. Spinecrawler coming up right now. Link Speed is also researching here for Serral. This is actually a pretty safe start for Serral. 2 drones go down, 3rd drone goes down. Actually, no. I thought it was the 4th drone going down, but that was 3 drones in total for 1 SCV. Not a bad trade so far for Clem, but he does need more. Those spine crawlers are on the horizon, and they're the light at the end of the tunnel right here for Serral. That's exactly why Clem is starting to hurt them as much as possible. Obviously, those Marines can very easily pop into the bunker. Yep, and find a little bit of safety there, and you look... Oh my god, that bunker is in range of the hatchery too. So that puts Serral on a timer. More and more Marines are coming up. Link Speed is not gonna finish up in time. Queen's purposefully not injecting, it looks like, just to save up energy for transfusion. And they're gonna finish that up in just a few seconds. That will be Serral's best opportunity to try and hold. He probably wants to wait, though, until Link Speed is done. Marines pop right here at the bottom bunker, because they know that these spine crawlers are the main threat. SCV is repairing the bunkers as well from the other side. In the meantime, we have a starport at home. So, yeah, second gas goes down. There's still no expansion here, though, for Clem. Okay, he's trying to hit those spine crawlers in between the poke. You see that? So as the poke registers, well, this is the moment apparently where Serral decides to pull the trigger. How much damage can he really do? Beautifully done here so far by Clem, though, but it does look like he will get overwhelmed. Okay, good hold right there for Serral. But. The hatchery is in low hit points, fair enough, and he doesn't have a lot of workers. So he's only got, well, now 17 drones versus a Terran who, yeah, is on one base, but does have a lot more tech and in general a lot more workers. Really? Oh no. Oh god, okay, that's actually very unfortunate. Serral still has not quite seen this. Oh, that's also very unfortunate. Also, yeah, Cyclones are finishing up momentarily. Clem just still... He has seen the hatchery, but he knows he has not been spotted there yet, so he's saving up a few more of his Marines before he will probably pull the trigger on that base. Okay, a little bit of sloppiness right there coming out of the French Terran. Do we not commit here? Do we not go after the base? Oh, I was gonna say we have to. There we go. Now those Marines will get spotted. Serral currently trying to re-drone. He has got himself a good number of workers here. So now he's at 25 versus 22. Command center starts up on the back of this. Medevac gets boosted across the map together with those Cyclones. Third hatchery does go down. Brenda here, very deep off creep. There's no energy there on Karen either. Spinecrawler's pretty far forward. But as long as those Marines stay out of range, I guess it's okay. Now the Cyclones are joining in. He's still producing more Marines, man. Medevac is actually super nice here. Oh, okay. One of the queens goes down. Second queen running dangerously low. Oh, God. She does just barely live. Spinecrawler's getting repositioned. First one does go down. Second one does not look to be too far behind either. That hatchery is still so low, man. Those Cyclones can actually kill it in just a second. Maybe two. Zerglings popping out of their cocoons. Well, hey, I gave you that whole story about banelings. Looks like Clem doesn't need those, though. Ay. Banelings would not have made much of a difference in this game so far, I can tell you that much. Clem just on another level as of late. Beautiful. Great pickup control here as well. Who needs warp prisms when you have medevacs? Oh my god. Is he just winning this game now with 4 Cyclones and 2 Marines? I think you target the hatch. Yeah, you target the hatch. If the hatch is down... Queen so low. Good control there as well by Serral. Additional Cyclone comes up. Ay. Both of the queens die. I think the hatchery is going to be next. Serral is not going to give him the satisfaction, though. It's Clem who obtains the victory 2-0 against the man who's considered to be the GOAT. Hey, if you enjoyed watching this video, please take the 1 second that it takes to hit the like button down below. It really does help. And if you're interested in watching more videos like this as well in the future, hit that subscribe button so you get notified as soon as future videos go live. Thank you!